No. Okay, all right. I'll be serious. Yeah, that's the answer. But don't worry. This is a serious video where I explain why I don't feel that Lori needed to live longer than her death. Her death was pretty okay. At least, maybe not the death itself, but the timing of it. Season 3, episode 4. I guess you needed at least one death. T-Dog, I would have kept him alive until closer to the end of season 3. Maybe that would have been a good time to kill him. But Lori, kill her off in season 3, episode 4. It's it was good for the story. It was good for the characters to have a casualty. It is The Walking Dead. You do need a death. You can only go so many episodes without a single death, because you do want to keep the audience on the edge of their seats. And killing Lori in season 3, episode 4, Killer Within, it made enough sense. Like I said, I would have just killed her. I would have kept T-Dog going until closer to the end of the season. And I'm not really a big Lori Grimes fan. I know a lot of people hate her character. She's kind of infamous. But I don't necessarily hate her. I don't hate her, but I just kind of dislike her, and I'm indifferent towards the character. And the fact that I don't like her that much, it's not quite like the same reasons as for some other people. Some people just hate her because she slept with Shane. She cheated on Rick. But you gotta think about that for a minute. You gotta really put yourself in her position. Okay, one day she's having this normal life, and then the next day all hell breaks loose. The world is being taken over by the walkers. She was already having marital problems with Rick, and all of a sudden the world just pretty much ended. There was a flashback where she had just watched helicopters bomb a city. That's traumatizing. The world has been taken over by monsters, and people die and come back, and she just lost her husband. She thought she did. That's traumatic. She probably had sisters and brothers and a mom and dad that she didn't know what the hell happened to them. They were all more than likely dead. She never got to know those answers. She was under a lot of pressure. She had this 10-year-old boy, Carl, or 8 or 9 or whatever he was supposed to be. This little boy that she had to protect and be a mother to and be strong for, even though Rick was supposedly dead. And just all of that on top of her. Then there's Shane, and she snaps, and they find relief with each other, and they sleep together. That's kind of human. People give her shit, but with the zombie apocalypse just starting, and you not knowing what happened to your brothers, sisters, cousins, parents, you just watch the city get bombed. The world is taken over by the dead. You think your husband's dead. You have to take over. You have to take care of your son and be strong for him. That's a lot. That's a lot on her shoulders. I don't necessarily blame her for snapping and seeking comfort in Shane. Now, I do kind of feel bad for Shane, because when she finds out that Rick is alive, she tries to do the right thing. She tries to just get back with Rick and continue things as normal. And she's mad at Shane, and she doesn't want to have anything to do with him for a while. And she doesn't want Rick to find out about her and Shane, and she wants to be a good wife to him again. Shane didn't quite deserve the way she treated him. She blamed him for lying and saying that Rick was dead. Shane was in a pretty difficult position himself. Rick was still in a coma. Shane was at the hospital. There were walkers everywhere. Shane locked the door, and he was. If you watch that flashback of Shane with Rick, and Rick being in the coma, Shane's like, give me a sign, Rick. Give me a sign, Rick. Wake up, or something like that. Like he's desperate. He is desperate to save his friends, but he's pretty much trapped between a rock and a hard place. Rick's not waking up. He can't drag Rick out of the hospital when he's surrounded by walkers. He just can't. He makes an impossible choice, and he locks the door, and he leaves, and he escapes, and he says Rick is dead. Why does he say Rick is dead? Because he doesn't want, Lori's not soldier, not survivor ass going off looking for her husband and getting killed, or Carl getting killed, or Carl being parentless. I don't think Shane lied about Rick for himself. Shane lied about Rick for Lori and Carl's sake. He did the easiest thing for them. He didn't want them going out searching for him and getting themselves killed. But, Lori's also trying to, make things right with Rick and repair things with Rick. So I can kind of sympathize with her. The whole thing with sleeping with Shane, I mean, she just kind of snapped, and she made a human mistake. And, once she finds out Rick is alive, she does her best to repair their relationship. The thing that really made me not like her was when, late in season 2, she tells Rick to kill Shane. I swear to God, there's this 5-minute dramatic scene where Lori is going out of her way to manipulate Rick into killing his friend. She's going out of her way to try to get Rick to kill Shane. She goes out of her way. Watch that scene again. I'm telling you. I believe it's the episode, I don't know what it's called, but it's the episode before 12 Miles Out. Is that it? The episode before 12 Miles Out, where at the very end of the episode, Lori is just going out of her way to try to manipulate Rick into killing Shane. It's like a 5-minute scene where all she's trying to do is get Rick to kill Shane, convince Rick to kill Shane. A few episodes later, Shane tries to kill Rick for the 7th time, and Rick finally kills Shane, and she's just like, "Oh my God, I hate you! How dare you! How could you do that, you monster!" She just gives him this ugly look, this "you're a monster" look. She doesn't even let him touch her. Shane had tried to kill him over and over and over again. He killed Randall. He tricked Rick into going out into the forest and then tried to kill Rick again. Hell yeah, Rick killed Shane, you bitch! You told Rick to kill Shane earlier, you fucking hypocrite! Damn! That made me not like her. That was the moment where I was like, I do not like this character. They could just kill her off. And then in season 3, she's like, "Oh, I want to redeem myself," and she has this line about, "I'm not going to win the Mother of the Year award." It was like they had finally heard all the criticisms of the character after season 2, and for the 3 episodes she was in of season 3, other than the ghost ones, I'm not even going to talk about that bullshit. But in the 3 episodes of season 3 that Lori was in, it was like the writers knew that a lot of fans were unhappy with her, and they were trying to make her more likable. But, I mean, it would almost just kind of seem jarring that she went from being such a manipulative bitch in season 2 to all of a sudden in season 3 she wants to be a good person again and make things right with Rick. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they should have kept her alive longer. It made it more natural of a progression for the character. Maybe make her death actually something that most fans would be sad about, which I don't think they were. Something like that. But honestly, with her death in season 3, episode 4, I'm not against it. I'm okay with it. The big thing I would have changed was just her, not T-Dog. Have the episode completely revolve around Lori's water breaking and Lori having problems, and she has to die. She has to have Judith cut open out of her in order to save Judith. That's the only way out. Make the entire episode revolve around her. Maybe give her some flashbacks that kind of what's the word? I don't know the word, but have some flashbacks maybe between season 2 and season 3, because keep in mind there was an 8-month time jump between season 2 and season 3. Where there's just these last 10 survivors from season 2. They don't know about Andrea, so it's just those 10, running around the forest doing their best to survive. Having some flashbacks to flesh out, that might be the word, flesh out, Lori realizing that she shouldn't have blamed Rick for Shane, and that Shane was a loose cannon and dangerous, and that he had tried to kill her husband multiple times, and she should completely support Rick, defending himself, and Rick, not getting killed by, Shane, and, not being mad at him for, the thing that she had told him to do, a couple of episodes earlier. Like, flesh it out. Like, make Lori realize that she's wrong, and maybe she tries to reconcile with Rick a few times in flashbacks or something. Like I said, have Killer Within, you have these flashbacks of her, and it fleshes her out a little bit more between seasons, and it shows, her realizing the error of her ways between seasons, and just fleshing out the character a little bit more, and developing the character a little bit more. Like, have the entire episode revolve around her, and her slowly dying, and all of her regrets and everything, and don't even make it about T-Dog dying. Like, let T-Dog live, and kill T-Dog off later, and have the entire episode be about Lori's redemption and Lori's death. That might have been a little bit more effective, and maybe the audience would have actually cared. I mean, some of the audience would have cared a little bit more. I mean, I know there's Lori fans out there. Like I said, I don't hate the character, I definitely don't hate her for sleeping with Shane. I'm okay with that. But yeah, as far as just her dying in the episode at all, she could die. I mean, that's okay. I would have just kept T-Dog alive, and that way give Lori more and more and more material. Make the episode completely dedicated to Lori, sort of how in Tyrese's death episode, the episode was entirely dedicated to Tyrese. Have the Killer Within episode completely dedicated to Lori. Flesh Lori out a little bit more, develop Lori a little bit better, make her death a little bit more sad, and really, really emphasize on her sacrificing herself for her baby, and her wanting Carl, Judith, and Rick to live without her and be strong without her, and how she regrets some of her decisions, and really focus on the tragedy of her wanting to make things right, but now she has to die because it's the only way to save her baby. The thing that ironically she wasn't even sure she wanted to have back in season 2, and now she wants to die for it. A little bit more emphasis on that. Cut out T-Dog's death entirely. Have it all about Lori. That might have made it better. So, do I think Lori should have lived longer? No. I think her death in season 3, episode 4 was fine. I would have, the concept of her dying by itself was fine. I would have just changed it, made the changes that I just described, and yeah, I mean, it's not like the actress left. I mean, she kept coming back for Ghost, for that god-awful Rick seeing Ghost plot line where he's just like, I can't help you, get out, I'm crazy, like the entire season he's like crazy and shit. But yeah, I mean, her death was okay. Like I said, I would have just made those changes, but as far as her dying at all, yeah, season 3, episode 4, Killer Within, she could die, that's okay. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 316 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 400 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that 400 subscriber goal. Can't wait to get there. But yeah, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.